One minute she was climbing impossible rock faces and trading jokes with the crew, and the next, she was just gone. Fans of Matt's off-road recovery couldn't help but notice when Katelynn Boren suddenly stopped appearing in videos. There was no big goodbye, no dramatic announcement, no clear explanation, just silence. For someone who quickly became a standout on the channel, that silence felt loud. Viewers had watched her prove herself behind the wheel, handling recoveries with confidence well beyond her years. So when she disappeared from the lineup, questions started flooding the comments. Was it personal, a new opportunity, or something the public simply wasn't meant to see? The mystery only deepened as episode after episode rolled out without her. And the longer the quiet lasted, the more fans wanted answers. So what really happened? And why did she step away? She wasn't just another face on camera. She was already a force in the off-road world before most viewers even knew her name. Long before appearing on Matt's off-road recovery, Katelynn Boren had built a reputation in competitive rock crawling circles that left seasoned drivers stunned. Growing up in southern Utah, surrounded by some of the most unforgiving terrain in the country, she developed skills that many adults spend decades trying to master. And she did it as a teenager. What made her stand out wasn't just talent, it was composure. While others hesitated at near vertical climbs or jagged rock shelves, she stayed calm, reading the terrain like a blueprint. Competitive events saw her going head-to-head with drivers twice her age, and more than once, she walked away ahead of them. That kind of confidence doesn't come from luck. It comes from hours behind the wheel, mechanical knowledge, and a fearless mindset. By the time she stepped into the YouTube spotlight, she wasn't new. She was already battle-tested. Viewers quickly noticed she didn't play it safe. She took on recoveries that required precision and nerve, and she handled them with surprising control. There was no over-the-top showboating, just steady focus and results. But here's the thing most casual fans didn't realize. Balancing competitive rock crawling, personal life, and sudden online visibility isn't simple. The pressure shifts fast when cameras are rolling and millions are watching. And that growing spotlight would soon change everything. Because her rise wasn't just about driving skill, it marked the beginning of something much bigger and much more complicated. Her arrival on Matt's off-road recovery didn't feel random, it felt timed. The channel was already a powerhouse in the off-road space, built around high-risk recoveries, custom builds, and the steady leadership of Matt Wetzel. But when longtime team member Lizzie stepped away, viewers sensed a shift. The dynamic had changed, and that's when Katelynn entered the picture. She didn't ease into the background. From her first appearances, it was obvious she wasn't there just to observe. She drove. She spotted lines. She got her hands dirty. And she did it without trying to steal the spotlight. That balance, confident but grounded scamming is what hooked viewers almost instantly. Comments flooded in pointing out how naturally she fit with the crew. She wasn't playing a character, she was simply doing what she already knew how to do. What made her presence even more compelling was the contrast. Here was a young, competitive rock crawler stepping into high-pressure real world. Recoveries, surrounded by experienced operators and millions of subscribers watching every move. That's not a small jump. But she handled it like she'd been there for years. The channel's energy subtly shifted. Episodes featuring her often sparked higher engagement. Fans debated her driving choices, praised her skill, and speculated about her long-term role on the team. Was she being positioned as a future face of the channel? Was this the beginning of a larger expansion? For a moment, it felt like viewers were watching the early stages of something big. But just as her role seemed to solidify, the unexpected happened. And the silence that followed raised even more questions than her arrival ever did. Then came the moment fans didn't expect. They realized she hadn't been in a video for a while. At first, no one thought much of it. Cast members rotate, jobs happen off camera. But as upload after upload rolled out on Matt's off-road recovery, without a single appearance from Katelynn Boren, viewers started connecting the dots. It wasn't just that she was missing, it was that no one addressed it. There was no casual mention, no quick update, not even a passing comment explaining where she'd been. For a channel known for its transparency and tight-knit crew dynamic, that silence stood out. Comment sections slowly shifted from recovery talk to one repeated question. Where's Katelynn? At first, fans assumed it was temporary, maybe scheduling conflicts, maybe competitions, maybe school or personal commitments. But weeks turned into months. The absence stopped feeling like a break and started feeling permanent. Online forums and Reddit threads lit up. Some viewers speculated she had quietly stepped away. Others wondered if something happened behind the scenes. A few even suggested tension or creative differences, though there's no verified evidence to support that. And because the team never publicly clarified anything, speculation filled the vacuum. What made it more intriguing was how sudden it felt. There was no visible lead-up, no final big episode centered around her. One day she was there, actively involved in challenging recoveries. And then she wasn't. For loyal subscribers who had grown attached to her steady presence, it felt unfinished, almost abrupt. And when an audience feels like part of a journey, an unexplained exit doesn't just create curiosity, it creates a mystery. Once the silence stretched on, the theories exploded. Some fans believe the simplest explanation is the most realistic, that Katelynn Boren chose to refocus on competitive rock crawling. Before YouTube ever entered the picture, that was her world. High-level events, intense training, constant travel. Balancing that with filming schedules isn't easy, especially when competitions demand full commitment. To some viewers, her disappearance looks less like drama and more like priorities shifting back to her roots. But not everyone buys that. Another theory suggests she wanted something bigger than a supporting role. On Matt's off-road recovery, the spotlight ultimately centers around Matt Wetzel and the brand he built. While Caitlyn stood out, she was still part of a larger machine. Some speculate she may have been exploring independent opportunities, possibly building her own presence, pursuing sponsorships, or carving out a different path entirely. In today's creator economy, stepping away quietly can sometimes be the first move before launching something new. Then there's the tension theory. Whenever someone exits without explanation, viewers assume behind-the-scenes conflict, creative differences, personality clashes, disagreements about direction. It's a familiar pattern in online communities. But here's the key point. There's no public evidence confirming any fallout. The internet often fills silence with its own storyline. What keeps the speculation alive is the lack of closure. No farewell episode, no public send-off, just an abrupt fade-out. And when fans don't get answers, they create their own. But beneath all the rumors and guesses lies a bigger question. Was her departure planned all along? Or was it something no one saw coming? Here's where things get grounded. Strip away the rumors, the comment section detectives, and the dramatic theories. And the confirmed facts are surprisingly simple. There has been no official announcement from Matt's off-road recovery stating that Katelynn Boren was fired, forced out, or permanently stepped away. No public statement, no farewell post, no on-camera explanation, and that matters. In the world of YouTube, silence doesn't automatically mean scandal. Cast members rotate, people take breaks, filming schedules change. Life happens off camera, especially for someone balancing competitive rock crawling, personal commitments, and growing online attention. Stepping back temporarily or permanently doesn't require drama. It's also important to remember that not every departure is content. Viewers often feel entitled to a full explanation because they're emotionally invested. But creators don't always owe a public breakdown of private decisions. Sometimes the simplest answer is the most realistic one. Priorities shift. Another key detail, there's been no public conflict between Caitlyn and the team. No exposed disputes, no messy back and forth online. In an era where disagreements often spill into public view, the complete lack of visible tension suggests this may not have been explosive at all. That doesn't make it less noticeable, it just makes it less sensational than some fans expected. What we truly know is this: she appeared, she made an impact, and then she stopped appearing. Everything beyond that is speculation, but here's the part that keeps viewers hooked. The door was never officially closed, and when there's no confirmed ending, people can't help but wonder if the story is still unfinished. What makes this situation even more interesting is what it says about how audiences connect to online personalities. On Matt's off-road recovery, the vehicles may be the stars, but the people are what keep viewers emotionally invested. And when someone like Katelynn Boren becomes part of that formula, her absence doesn't just feel like a casting change, it feels personal. The channel itself didn't collapse, views didn't suddenly vanish, the recoveries kept rolling in. But longtime subscribers noticed a subtle shift in energy. Caitlyn brought a different dynamic. Younger, competitive, quietly fearless. Without her, the tone adjusted. Not better, not worse, just different. And that difference sparked something powerful. Engagement. Every new upload still carries comments asking about her. That ongoing curiosity keeps her name circulating within the community. In a strange way, her absence may have created more discussion than her presence ever did. Mystery fuels conversation. Conversation fuels algorithm momentum, and momentum keeps a brand alive. But here's the bigger picture. You see, YouTube channels evolve constantly. Cast members rotate, new faces step in, others step back. What feels shocking in the moment often becomes part of the channel's natural growth. For viewers, it can feel abrupt. For creators, it can simply be business, timing, or life circumstances. The real question isn't just why she left. It's whether her story with the channel is truly over. Because until there's a clear, confirmed ending, fans will keep watching closely, looking for a surprise reappearance, a casual mention, or a quiet return to the driver's seat. And sometimes, in the world of online creators, the comeback is what hits the hardest. In the end, the mystery surrounding Katelynn Boren isn't built on scandal or exposed secrets. It's built on silence. She arrived on Matt's off-road recovery with real skill, real confidence, and quickly earned a place in viewers' minds. Then, just as naturally, she was gone. No dramatic exit, no official explanation, just an open question that fans are still trying to answer. But maybe that's why this story sticks. In the world of YouTube, audiences grow attached fast. They feel like part of the journey. So when someone disappears without closure, it creates a loose end. And loose ends are powerful. They spark theories. They fuel comment sections. They keep people watching just in case something changes. The truth is, not every departure hides a secret. Sometimes people shift priorities. Sometimes life moves in a different direction. And sometimes the door's left open on purpose. Right now, there's no confirmed ending to her chapter with the channel. And until there is, that question lingers in the background of every new upload. Was this a quiet goodbye or just an intermission?